go into the operator screen. So this is a quick look of what the finished plant looked like. As you can see, it's a lot of, now I don't know if I can use the mouse here, but you see on the left, on column A, there's about 12 temperature sensor, there's pressure sensor, and there's a lot of things that like level switches and things like that. So all of this had to be controlled. For example, if you look at the left side, there's a logo called thermic. Thermic is basically the valve that controls the steam. The steam is the thing that heats up all the tanks. So that's the temperature control, where it's a lot more efficient and accurate compared to manual work. Now, this is just one screenshot of the plant factory, where you can see that everything you can see on the one screen, everything is recorded, everything you can manually you can automatically shut down centrally. This helps a lot with safety, accuracy, and efficiency. Right. So this is a financial analysis of this upgrade. So now, obviously, all the tank and all the boiler and the valves is already there. We just have to automate them. So the cost is not as high if you didn't have all of those. So you would have to buy them all if you didn't have them from the beginning. So we just had to do a minor upgrade on the plant floor, but we just add a lot of the brain, which is called control system, right? So the cost of the project, including installation, is $30,000 US, right? Now, when they look at it, the cost savings of the wage cost per year last year adds up to about $25,000 per year for 8 people, right? So this was the one factor that they look at it. Obviously, there's other factors like less waste product and things like that, but we are not given information on that. So even looking at just the one factor, which is manual labor and the cost savings, you get a very high return on investment with a payback period of less than 2 years. So you get a very quick return on investment on automation. Now, not every project is gonna be this high of investment return rate, but I'm just saying that it can be this high and it can be even higher. Now, the next part they're gonna do is they will make a bigger, an extra line of production. So before they had two lines of tanks. This year they will add 2 more tanks. Now, when you add 2 more tanks, you don't need to buy double the automation. For example, the control system probably only go up by 30% because a lot of the components is still usable, like the computer, the CPU. The CPU and the computer is still the same, no matter how many lines, right? You only need to add on the field device and the I/O modules on the control system. So basically, with control system projects and automation, it's very flexible, meaning that you can start small and then add on to the project. That way you get better return on investment every time you upgrade. Now, a quick one on the trend in automation. Now, we all hear a lot about Industry 4.0, but what most people misunderstand is what 4.0 means. Now, let me go through all the automation versions. So Industry 1.0, this is probably 50 years ago. So before, they used to use manual labor like humans and cows. And then Industry 1.0 is an upgrade of using steam equipment. After that, Industry 2.0 is using electricity. Now, in Indonesia, it is now mostly already going into 3.0, where you have process automation. So the key in Industry 3.0 is automation, right? Um, so you have things like control system, PLC or DCS. This is quite industry-specific terms, right? And there's a lot less labor required, right? As you can see before, you have more than 50% reduction in labor headcount once you apply automation. In some cases, it can be up to 70% reduction in labor requirement. Now, the next part, which is what we have now, is Industry 4.0. What does it mean? It's Industry 3.0 combined with IT infrastructure. What is IT infrastructure? So usually what you hear the most is artificial intelligence analysis, but the most common one now is to work with ERP programs, enterprise resource planning programs. Maybe the most popular brand is called SAP, right? So it basically systems that used to be separate from each other. So usually SAP is used by the finance department, by the purchasing department, and by the executive department, right? Whereas control system is usually used by the operational department. In Industry 4.0, these two separate systems combine and they talk to each other, right? So actually, it's not really any more labor reduction, because you just get better. The key in 4.0 is better information availability, right? So the executives know what's happening in the factory floor real time. The purchasing department know what is in the factory floor in real time. So they know when there's low stock of raw material A immediately. They know if there is too much stock of material B, things like that. So Industry 4.0 is the current evolution of automation. And the key is always to improve efficiency and lower cost of production. But even now, 4.0 is still quite far from where most factories are at. So the main goal of Industry 3.0 is what I've discussed before, such as reducing manpower. And here are the things that 3.0 is not, right? All these things that it's not is the goal of 4.0. So if I go to the next slide, you can see in 4.0, you have all these things like efficiency analysis, plant workload analysis, optimal manufacturing. For example, should I make material A first or B first or C first? And then the next one is preventive maintenance. So is my pump or motor almost at breaking point? Should I service it before it breaks down and make my factory shut down? And then all these other analysis like waste material analysis, all of this was not possible before automatically. In the past, you would have to make a production report, a main material usage report, and then combine it into the other systems like ERP and MES systems. But now in Industry 4.0, you can combine all of this data into the ERP systems in real time. and you get a much better analysis um, in real time.